Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Ghost of Frankenstein from 1942. This is the fourth Frankenstein in the Universal Monster Frankenstein series. At this point in time, Universal was just like semi-reboot and semi-sequels at this point in the franchise and just getting very lazy at this point. Ghost of Frankenstein was released on March 13, 1942. The film was directed by Eric C. Kenton. It was produced by George Wagner. The story was done by Eric Taylor, and the screenplay was done by W. Scott Darling. The film stars Bela Lugosi. The film stars Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi, Cedric Hardwicke, Ralph Bellamy, Lionel Atwell, and Evelyn Ankers. This DVD copy right here comes on a two-double feature of Son and Ghost of Frankenstein. This is the first time I ever saw Son of Frankenstein and Ghost of Frankenstein. And again, since then, it's also on this Universal Monster Frankenstein DVD collection. And the Blu-ray Universal Monster Frankenstein. In Ghost of Frankenstein, Igor finds the Frankenstein monster. He brings the monster to Dr. Frankenstein's son for help. Igor has an obsession wanting to switch brains with the monster for the monster's full potential. Ludwig Frankenstein is unaware that someone else has more devious plans for the monster. This one is my least favorite of the Universal Monster Frankenstein films. This movie got very lazy, and this was the beginning of Universal's downfall, with no more originality for the character of the creature. It's not the worst movie, but it's just like very lazy. Lon Chaney Jr., the son of Man of a Thousand Faces silent movie actor Lon Chaney Sr., fresh off his success as the Wolfman, he plays the monster in this movie instead of Boris Karloff, and honestly, his performance as the monster, it stinks. He's very stiff, and it's like he has no idea how to put any emotion into the character, unlike how Karloff did it. And also, I feel like he was trying way too hard, trying not to be like Boris Karloff, and trying to make it his own. Watching this movie makes me wish that Karloff was playing the monster, but unfortunately, I understand and respect why Karloff did not come back for this film. He felt like they had gone as far as the first three films. I feel like there was no more, ideas and stories for the monster at this point in the series. And this time, he's not wearing the fur coat like in the last movie. One of the biggest problems with this film is how when we see the lightning strike the monster and gives him energy, because in the last movie, Igor said that the lightning put him in a coma, and this film gives him energy. That's an example of bad, lazy writing right there. And Bela Lugosi's performance in this film as Igor, he's not bad. He's just not as good as he was in Son of Frankenstein, where he was so, dramatic and spectacular. Where in this film, he's just okay. It doesn't top what he did in Son of Frankenstein. And also, how is he still alive after getting shot by Wolf Frankenstein in the last film? It makes no sense. You can point out, could he be some supernatural? But again, there's just no logic to that, or no explanation. You'd also point out that Igor was a little bit sympathetic and three-dimensional in this film to some degree. Like how he didn't want the monster to have the girl's brain inside him, and said he made the ultimate sacrifice to put his brain in the monsters, not the little girl's. The monster has some obsession with this little girl who he wants her brain. As a little kid, even watching this day, I always find this scene very creepy and disturbing. Also, with Igor, wanting to be put inside Frankenstein's body to rule the world, how is that I have no idea. It makes no sense whatsoever. The only part I did like in this film was when After like when the brains are switching sway between Igor and the monsters, Bela Lugosi dubs over Lon Chaney Jr. as the monster, saying, "Igor will rule the world forever." I'll admit, that was actually a little freaky right there and crazy. Once again, Dwight Fry's in this film playing a different character as one of the town villagers. I guess Universal really liked Dwight Fry so much. Lionel Atwill plays a different character. And Evelyn Ankers, as you all know, played the Wolfman's girlfriend in Wolfman with Lon Chaney's in this film. As I mentioned in like my Son of Dracula review, again, watch this and the other movies of Lon Chaney Jr. playing Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, and the Wolfman. It's like I call the Universal of Lon Chaney monster recycles quadrilogy. There's not much else I have to say about this film other than the fact that it's like weak, stale, and stiff, and just like really Universal's downfall in a sad way. That this was like the beginning of their downfall of movies, where they got really lazy at this point in the franchises of like other Universal monsters, and that they were only being just made for the money rather than coming out with originality instead. But it's also crazy to say that despite this not being one of my favorites, this is one I still like watch the marathon. I want to marathon all of the Frankenstein films of Universal. The Brain Swipes is like a what the heck did I just watch kind of movie in some ways. So that was my review of Ghost of Frankenstein. Stay tuned for Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, an awesome crossover battle.